So on the goals side, these are the 4 goals and the themes that emerged. Engage all students in meaningful learning, foster an environment that values and supports everyone to thrive. That's our belonging goal. Maximize impact of district resources, and then our dream goal of unlocking new possibilities for the district. And what that translates to in the details in the goal, these gray boxes are the things that we've identified as strengths of the district that we want to keep and continue to build upon. So we'll leverage existing strengths in all students engaging in meaningful learning by leveraging our incredible educators and robust career pathways, and then focusing on how do we enhance instruction for all students in line with a clear district-wide vision and high-quality materials and practices. The work here is we don't have a district-wide vision for what instruction should look like. I think there's a general understanding of what great instruction should look like, but we need to be sure that all the educators in our district know what the expectations are of quality instruction. That would be something we would build together with them. This also means that all of our schools would align on some of the core instructional courses. So if you take English 1, English 2, English 3, Algebra 1, Geometry, U.S. History at Buffalo Grove, the structure of those courses at Elk Grove or at Prospect or at Hersey are all aligned to the Illinois State Learning Standards and the ACT benchmarks where applicable. So that the structure of the courses is the same. The art at which the teacher brings to the classroom is where it can be personalized, and that teacher navigates in their own way of teaching to that structure. So because the structure of the course and then the rigor at which we teach it should be similar in all of our buildings across all of the different grade bands. And it's not that way today. It's something that we recognize as an area of needed improvement, and it was probably the top area of feedback we received from students, staff, and families. Provide ongoing staff support. We have this beautiful gift of professional learning time every morning from 7:30 to 8:20. And our staff, we have, this is where our PLCs happen, the professional learning communities where they get to collaborate, where we deliver most of our professional learning. Buffalo Grove actually does probably one of the best jobs in the district at organizing this time in the morning. The last time I was here was a part of an AI and education forum last spring that was tremendous. Tim Koziak was leading it. It was really eye-opening on the ethics and the morals around using AI responsibly. But we want to really leverage that time and ensure that where we're going as a district can be directly tied to providing that support for our staff to get there, and not just to say, hey, we want to go here and expect them to figure out the way. We don't have that expectation. We want to work together to achieve that. And then ensuring strong transitions into the district and out of the district. We have 7 center districts that come into District 214. And I tell this story and joke a little bit. In my prior district, it was a K-12 district. If I had an issue in middle school, I could walk down the hallway to the curriculum office and say, hey, we got a problem, let's fix this. I now have to call 7 superintendents and say, let's work on something together. And I joke about it because they actually have all been wonderful. We have a really wonderful school community and center community, and they're very interested in collaboration. We have a few things going that I'm actually really proud of. We're 1 or 2 districts away from sending their data sharing agreement that their boards have approved, so ours can. And what that will give us is the ability to share our data back and forth so they can see their students that graduate from the middle school, how their success rate as a freshman, so they can measure, are they on target with preparing students properly for high school. And for us, we can see where are the gaps in all 7 of our schools in, say, Algebra 1 or Geometry when they hand students off to us in math, or are they ready for English 1, and what gaps exist, and how can we work together to really make that as clean as possible. We're also participating in a community or area-wide math instructional improvement initiative. Math scores have been dipping across the country post-COVID, but they actually were dipping here a little bit before COVID, and we're committed to fixing that. But what that math instruction is doing is we're working together with every math teacher in all 8 districts combined, as well as all of our administrators, to look at how aligned are we to standards, but what are the best instructional practices, and we're just ensuring we're using the same language around math instruction. So no matter where our kids come into our high school district, we're using common language all the way through to really align our efforts. It's gone really, really well. And I'm excited about where it goes. We're in year one of probably a 3-year project, but it's really strengthening our relationships for sure. Goal number 2 is our sense of belonging goal. We already have strong communities and strong relationships with the community, and we want to strengthen that. But we want to really push inclusivity for all students, families, and staff. And what that means is, it's a very idealistic statement. But what it means is, I would love nothing more than for every student that goes to Buffalo Grove to feel as if they belong here. I mean, you hear this, BGM belong at BG. It's already something that they're working heavily on. But it's not just students. They need to find their people here, whether it be an activity or their trusted adult or staff members feeling connected to their school, feeling they have really supportive colleagues and administrators and people at district office that care about them and want them to succeed, but then also our families to feel connected and know who to contact and where to get information, and that if they need something, we're here for them. That's really what lives in this goal. Offer social emotional instruction and supports to meet the growing demands of our students. What this came from our PE teachers. And what this really is they said, let's look at physical education more through a wellness lens. And the idea being, in their freshman and sophomore year, we all deal with ranging emotions. It's part of the human experience. But how can we teach them tools and strategies when they're feeling anxious or they're feeling nervous about a test or a conflict with a friend? What are some strategies that they can employ to self-regulate and put that in that classroom? And then that evolve into PE, which we all know that physical activity is a great exertion for balancing those levels, and turn into either junior or senior year work in choice, where it's not just a roll the ball out for PE, it's make a choice for yoga or cycling or weightlifting, or you want to play a sport in PE, and create more choice for kids in their physical activity as long as they're engaged in some form of physical exertion. And then leveraging our community partnerships and support to foster that sense of community. We've got tremendous business partners. We know that with our pathways. But we also have tremendous partners on the social side of the community, where Omni and Link Together provide great resources in support of our students and families, and really enhance all those partnerships. Okay, goal number 3 is the resource side of the house. So we are already committed to mindful allocation of our resources. We are, as I said, a very well-resourced district, and it's something we are proud of, that we maintain a 4.0 rating in terms of how we manage our funds. That being said, we want to be sure we stretch those funds as far as they can go so that we can handle all of these building improvements to the greatest extent possible within what we're allotted from the community. It's something we take very seriously. Within our resources are also our staff resources in terms of what are the programs that are working really well. We can do a better job of cross-building collaboration. There are great things happening in other buildings around the district, and we need to create opportunities to share the good and find ways of what's working in one building, can it scale in another because the need may be there. I see this happening right now in Wheeling, actually. There's a former teacher from the Vanguard program who's done some really innovative work around instruction, and Mr. Hubbard, or Dr. Hubbard and Megan Baker have built this program called REACH, and it is having a tremendous impact, and we're now working to implement REACH in Rolling Meadows because as we're sharing this information. And that's just one example of a lot of wonderful things that are happening, but we need to do more of this because there are pockets of innovation that are really, really doing well. And then the second one is improve operations systems and resources. I talk about operational efficiency and system health with our staff, and that's coming from a place of, Buffalo Grove, these are all LED lights. And so with these LED lights and improved HVAC and improved and brand new boilers, this building is operating more efficiently. In the last 2 years, we've been able to save $300,000 in energy expenses that we can now divert into the classroom instead of spending on electricity. There's a lot more work to be done there. There's also work in terms of our systems of how our staff engage with district office. And we want to make it less clunky, because I don't want them being caught up in red tape at district office and being caught up in a process that's broken in someone's office. Maybe it could be automated so that their time can be really preserved so they can focus on our kids and not worried about a field trip form or an extra duty form that should be simple. So we're really working on cross-departmental collaboration because silos are the death of a good school district. And we want to eliminate all silos and really create a cohesive environment. All right, now the fun one, unlocking possibilities. District 214 is a history and a tradition of innovation. The Pathways, like I said, it's a nationally recognized program that many schools want to emulate. And the next wave of that, we'll go down to B first, is incubating that innovation like REACH, blended learning here is an opportunity to give student flexibility. There's a lot of conversations happening around the district. We want to promote that and support it and build it up, and what's working, look to scale across the district where it makes sense. What's not working, help it sunset and try something else. Really create that fail forward mentality, which in schools is not an easy thing to do because we as educators are typically type A personalities and we're perfectionists and we're not used to not doing well, and we have to try things though, or else we continue on this path of a factory model that we want to break free from. And then the final one is reimagining premier facilities. We have $875 million worth of needs in terms of our capital improvements, like our boilers and the HVACs, to some of our safety around the district, to like what's happening out of BG, the field upgrades and the turnover in some of our tracks that are breaking down, and the life cycle of our roofs. So we have to pay attention to those things, and unfortunately our need is really high. So we want to reimagine this in partnership with our staff, our students, and our families. So there'll be some work here of what should that look like. What is I say flexible because I want to this is a flexible space that can be converted into a classroom. It can be in a meeting room. It can be used for so many things. That's the type of flexibility we should have in many of our learning spaces, so our teachers can have that. We call them the one-arm bandit, the desk that has the tennis balls in the bottom. We need to get rid of those. And we need to have more like this so teachers can have the flexibility to really change it up in the classroom and allow themselves to be free as they teach. Okay. When we do it all right, this is the flow. We have the big district strategic plan. Our buildings this year are working on a school improvement plan to learn the process. The idea is with a comprehensive plan at the district level that narrows our focus and gives us the North Star, our building will be able to take the goals that we set for the year and work on the implementation side of how to implement these goals to make them work. Each department then will connect with what they're charged with on the school improvement plan, and in the classroom, we achieve the point where every staff member can see their role contributing to us achieving our goals. That's the ideal state. It's what we're going to try and build. All right, I've thrown a lot at you. You do not have to take the survey on this QR code. It's available on a website we have out. We'll continue to send reminders of that feedback.